A very happy and a healthy day to everyone. We have already discussed about the two important components of social casework, that is, the person and the problem. Today, we will be discussing about the third important component of social casework, and that is place. According to Perlman, he says that any particular organization or agency is simply defined as a place. So, what is a place? A place is any particular social work agency or social service agency. It can be termed as an organization or any department. That is where the treatment is taking place, where a person actually comes with his or her problem. Though the term agency or organization has been used for a long time, presently the word institution has been used, or we can say it is being referred to as a place where the case worker actually practices. So see, this is just the terminology which keeps on changing from time to time. The basic concept behind the idea or the basic concept behind the term place is that it has to be a meeting place for the worker and for the client. Any area, any field where the two can meet and can work out a plan to solve the problem. The next slide depicts that how an agency is being formed or how an organization actually works, or what is an organization or what is an agency. See, simply agency, the main task is to develop a program or to form an outline according to the particular areas of that need. And then all those factors has to be kept in mind while working out a plan, like money, knowledge of the staff, the experience, the resources available, and the very much important is the community support, along with the philosophy of social work that actually guides the practice of social work profession. We can say that place is an identified, specifically mentioned agency or organization or the workplace. Now let's see how we can simplify the word place and can view it in different context. We have already seen that place in a very particular sense is described as an agency or organization. And it could be governmental also, and it could be non-governmental organizations. For example, we all have seen that there are a number of government organizations which are working for the welfare of the people, like family welfare programs are there, child welfare programs are there, and they have their different agencies that are working out different plans to solve the problems of the people, whether they are children, women, vulnerable section of the society, handicapped people, SC/STs, and lot many fields are there. Then there are non-governmental organizations also. They are also working in different fields so that they can help people to come out from the trap of their different problems and can lead a simple and a happy life. But there are two different aspects also where the place should be viewed in these two different contexts. One has already been described as an agency or organization, but there are two different areas, we can say two different fields, two different places, which should always be kept in mind while studying the problem of the person. And that is, the first one is emergence of a problem. See, the place is also viewed in the context that from where the problem is arising. It's a person, or is that particular condition in which he is living, or the temporary conditions like the school or the hospital or the office or the living area. And here the third context where the place should be viewed is actually the living condition of the client. Many a times what happen, the client can approach the caseworker through the agency, but he is not able to come up with his problem. Why? Because the condition in which he is living is actually the culprit, is actually that point from where the problem is arising. So these three different contexts should always be kept in mind to study the problem of the person thoroughly. To have a depth study, it is important to keep these three different contexts in mind. Besides, we can even say that what could be the possible characteristics of a place? Or, in different words, what constitutes an ideal place? How can we define it? So here also some points are being mentioned in the slide, and we can say that place is something where minimum resources should always be available, like proper sitting arrangement, papers, pen, writing material, file, etc. Then it should be reachable for the convenience. The case taken by a worker should be of his own city or place, and it should be approachable by the client even. It should be free from external and internal disturbances. That is, it should have a relaxed atmosphere where the client comes in, he feels relaxed and he is able to portray himself as he is. He is able to relieve himself and just ventilate himself or herself completely with his problem to the client. Another important characteristics could be like the experience and the competent staff, the knowledge they have, the experience they have, and the community support. You can even portray different characteristics of a place as per you understand the concept and you can come up with it. I would like to portray one simple example here so that the concept of place becomes more clear. We can say that in any particular hospital, there were many cases of tuberculosis, we can say TB, and they all were coming for the treatment. Now here the case workers and the doctors were knowing that it was because many of them were rag pickers near a plastic factory and some were working as laborers in it. Now what happened here is that patients were treated, but they soon came again with the symptoms of TB. Why? Because they lived in the same condition. So here the condition is problematic. So the work which has to be done is to be done with that particular area. So here the caseworker convinced the factory owner to provide necessary precaution. But again what happened? People were not prepared to give up their job. So in this particular situation, the caseworker tried up something else. What he did, the caseworker sent some of the patients to their relatives in the suburban areas. And there they improved a lot. And they improved fast. So with this little bit of change and a little bit of good output, slowly and steadily people realize that place, the location, the situation, that particular area, that particular field was actually responsible for the incidences of TB. So with this simple example, I think the importance of place becomes very much important, and we can see how the place has been included as one of the important component of casework, or we can say casework practice. At last, I would like to say that place is an immediate environment of worker-client interaction, and it is not only restricted or isolated to any particular agency or organization. It could be the working environment of the client, it could be the living environment of the client, and it could be an agency also. So these three different contexts should always be kept in mind so that a proper and a more immediate and effective treatment can be given to the client. Thank you.